Hi everyone, this is Tanya from Flying Dog Studio. Thank you so much for joining me as I work in my experimental journal. And I'm going to be using a variety of brushes. First of all, I'm using my Derwent. This came with my ink tints. This is the water brush. I like this. I have a microfiber cloth. I'm going to be using these pencils. These are the Winsor Newton watercolor pencils, and they came in a curated set. I'm going to put all of these links down below, along with the link where I made this watercolor sketchbook. Now, these pencils, I am using these particular colors and another piece coming up that is not, if you didn't see the title, let me tell you what this is. This is a loose intuitive painting. So the piece that I'm going to use these on, that's upcoming hopefully within the next week or so, is not a loose piece. It's a very tight, very detailed piece that I'm using these in a way that I have not used them before. So be looking for that one. But I wanted to see how all of these work together. Just kind of wanted to layer them on. And normally I would give you my reference photo, put that on my blog for you. However, I don't have a reference photo for this. This came straight from my mind. I've never been here before, so any resemblance to an actual location is purely coincidental. So I'm just going to layer these colors on. Not going to do a lot of talking in this video. Just kind of wanted to make some art on this particular day. It was an unusually warm day. I have the window open. Beautiful day for making art, and I thought that's what I would do. So we're going to be layering these on. I'm going to be activating them with water, and then I'm going to hop back on and tell you when I'm doing a few things a little bit differently. But just enjoy painting with me here. Grab your watercolors. They don't have to be pencils. If you want to follow along, you can watch this video a couple of times and stop it and see where I'm putting colors. You don't even have to use the same colors. Just have fun. But again, gonna be quiet now, and I'll hop back on in just a minute. As I said earlier, my goal for this piece was to use every single pencil that I'm going to be using in this upcoming project. So I'm going to get the yellow in here. These colors are not what I would normally use together. If I were going to make a landscape, I'd be picking these out. But again, this is just intuitive painting, and I'm just using what I've got here. I'll be putting quite a bit of water on. I'm activating them. This is why I wanted to use the water brush. It's going to help me activate it really quickly. And if you're using a water brush on something like this and you don't want all of your colors to blend, make sure you have a microfiber cloth handy. That way you can just tap it like I did right there and go back in and reactivate other colors. That way you don't blend things together that you don't want blended together. Now, the foreground that I'm about to paint, now that I have the sky done, I wanted those colors to blend together. And I went ahead and put some drops down there. I'm not really used to working with the water brush, so I do like to have some water down. I try not to squeeze my brush. Sometimes you'll see I accidentally squeeze it, get a little bit too much water, but that's okay. This is just kind of an experimental thing, seeing what all of these colors do together. And if you hang on just a few minutes, I'm going to bring these back out again, work on the paper while it's wet. I won't be activating all of it, working on it while it's wet. And I'm also going to be bringing out that gold paint that I used in the first page of this book, if you didn't catch that. And if you are new and you're just joining me, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I hope you enjoy the channel. I do lots of things on here, not just paintings like this. So take a look around. I hope that you'll subscribe and join us for more things on here. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for hopping on. You know, I'm always happy when you guys are here. So I'm going to be quiet again so you guys can have a little more of a musical interlude and watch me paint. At this point, my paper is still wet, so anytime you bring out a sharp pencil like this and you're drawing into a wet piece of paper, even though this is a 140-pound paper, you can still dig into it and you can still damage the paper and go all the way through, because this was quite saturated. You saw that earlier. I'm trying to use the sides of the pencil, and you saw when I picked up the yellow one, I forgot. I lost my mind temporarily and tried to draw with the tip. But if you keep them on their side and kind of roll the pencils, you can draw with them like I did on those mountains. At this point, the paper is dry in the front, but not all the way back. So I'm getting a few little grass pieces in here. I actually had planned to leave those as they are and not activate them. However, I wanted to put a little more red in here, and you're going to see me pick up another color, and the color I'm picking up is burnt carmine. Love this color, a wonderful red color. However, as you can see when I'm coloring on there, you can't see it. It's a wonderful red color, but you have to activate it. That's the little caveat here. You got to activate it. So when I activate it, I end up activating that brown grass that I did out front, and I wasn't unhappy about it. It didn't hurt my feelings. So here we go. See how that turns nice and red? You really can't see that until you activate it with the water. But as I'm activating, I start deciding to activate the grass, and I want to add a little more in. And again, use the side of the pencil. The paper was a little bit more wet at the top than it was at the bottom. So at the bottom I could get away with using the tip of the pencil, but not in the center where it was still pretty wet. As I'm finishing up the sky and the clouds on this, I realized I want to add just a little bit more to it. So why not add some sparkle? I'm looking over at the side of my desk and I'm going to reach in front. I do apologize about that, but I'm bringing out my Kuretake Gansai Tambi, and I hope I said that right. But this is my gold paint that my daughter gave me, and it's absolutely wonderful. I used it, as I said, in the first page of this book as an experiment. So I know how it works, and I'm going to use it on here. Got a little too much water with the water brush, so I'm having to switch to the size 6. This is the Winsor Newton from their Coptic series, and you can see it's wet. It's wonderfully sparkly, but this allows me to, I don't want to say dig down in the paint. You should never dig down in your watercolors. That allowed me to pick up more color and be able to apply it a little bit thicker than what you would normal watercolor. You want it in almost a gouache consistency when you're putting on top of things like this. So this finishes our piece. I hope you enjoyed the experimental piece. If you did, give me a like, give me a hype, join the channel. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining me. Kudos to you for making it to the very end of the piece. I do have that special one coming up. And I hope, like I said, I hope it'll be in a week or so, but I'm going to use these pencils, not going to use the gold, but I will use these pencils. I hope you'll join me for that, friends. But until then, I will see you in the next one.